All right, so two major updates for you guys that have been following the saga of my credit cards. I paid them off officially tonight. The last thing went through. Actually, one of my credit cards is minus $5.14. I don't know. It said to pay this extra to not get the fee or whatever, the interest. So I did it. But anyway, that's it. They're all zeroed out. And I do want to thank my wife for, she's been behind me on this, and she knows I'm crazy, and she's, she's really, she's, yeah. So yeah, you have to be a certain kind of creature to deal with a certain kind of creature like me. But yeah, I did just want to give her a shout out because she's a good egg. And the other thing, so and it kind of plays a part with this thing with the credit cards is, in the last video I talked about this black, the diamond panel on the front of the rectifier. There's a triple rectifier, a Rev G in excellent condition with the black. I mean, it looks crazy, and it's for sale. And I kind of know the guy who's selling it, and I've been so. It's really been kind of hitting that nerve, and I made arrangements to go down there tonight, and I got in the car, and I didn't even get out to the highway, and I just pulled over, and I hit the guy up, and I said, listen, I can't do it. It's just too much. I just, I don't want to spend the dough. And he was cool, and that was it. I turned around and went home, and and I felt so good. And the thing that was weird was somebody had posted up on the video that I had put up about this amp, and he said, oh yeah, he said I had the same exact amp, and I had all these problems, and the tube was blowing on one side, and I was like, oh good Lord, thank you thank you for helping me through this, because I need another old amp, I need a hole in the head, right? And I mean, honestly, as great as the different Mesas I've had. So I've had a Rev F, I've had a modded Rev F, I've had 3 or 4 Gs, I've had duals and triples, I've had a Racto, I've had a regular 3-channel triple, and I had a multi-watt dual. The multi-watt dual was awesome, and the Rev G triples were awesome. They were all awesome. I didn't like the modded Rev F. I just liked it. I like them stock. I don't know. That's just me, but of all that, I always struggle to get it to sound as good as some of my Kemper profiles. Just being honest, and maybe it's a little operator error. I did really get good at recording Mesas, though. Mesas are tricky. Marshalls are a lot easier to me. Put it was a 57 in front, right off the center dust caps, can sound cool. If you do a 421, phase it, find the right blend, or if you're using a ribbon. But the Mesa was definitely at first it was everything I was doing was just horrible, and it took a while. It wasn't until I got into the 421s, the combo of 57 and 421. I like that on the Mesa. I did not like the ribbon, just for me. But again, now maybe I would like it, but with all that said, after all of my, different Mesas that I've had, and I mean, I'm for years I was very good friends with Jimmy and John at Mesa Boogie Hollywood, so I knew all the tricks, man. All the get the MXR in the loop and to cut this and do that and orange that and diode that. Like I had them set, and you go in the room and it was like, hunk, and then they would sound strange when I would record them, but I did get good at them. I think also, depending on the sound, having the oversized recto cab is a component of it. And I normally was more into the traditional, I don't know, the traditional just seemed to record better. I don't know, also depending on the room, like if sometimes with a small room like I have and it's square, I mean, I've got it deadened up and everything, but still it was just sometimes it felt like maybe the oversized cab was just too much for the room. So anyway, but that's the good news, is that all the credit cards, everything is zero. And I paid about half of it, and the other half we got a little home equity loan. So now now I'm switching gears to get that paid off, and yeah, that's it, man. So incredible, because a lot of those credit cards, and so here's a little bit of information, and this may be very common knowledge for everybody. It wasn't for me, but most of these companies are all the same. They're Syncro Bank. So if you're buying stuff and you're using PayPal or Venmo credit, or you have a credit card with Guitar Center or Sweetwater or Vintage King or any of them, which I have all of that. So I'm telling you from experience, most everything is Syncro Bank. Syncro Bank raised their interest rate to 34.99%. So I was paying, like, if I owed 10 grand, I can't remember what it was now. My minimum was like $330 a month, let's say 10 grand. And of that $330, $270 was interest. These are rough numbers, but that was basically about it. I remember on my 3 and change, I was paying off about $50. Whoa. So now, like I said, I was able to pay off half of it with money I was earning, and then I've got some that's still on an equity loan, but it's whatever, 4.5%. It's super low. So this is doable. So anyway, it is a big day. I had to get up and edit out a line in this video I just made for a client, and that's my homie Romalie from Cambridge, UK. Well, outside of Cambridge. Anyway, you guys maybe get a chance to listen to her stuff. She's a cool kid. Yeah, she's into James Blunt and Adele and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, but yeah, debt free as far as credit cards, literally zero. And also another thing so I've had a Crane Song Avocet for about 20 years, and I've been starting to have some problems with it. And the company Crane Song has been going through a lot. Unfortunately, the owner, Dave, who I knew through years of moderating Gear Sluts and AES and NAB and all that stuff, he passed away maybe, I don't know, a year and a half ago or so. Which, he was a very nice guy, and he was a genius. He designed, Dave Hill, he designed a gear for a lot of the companies that we buy from. You'd be surprised. He was kind of a mastermind, and he passed away. So the company's been in a little bit of a dishevelness about it. And I was like, what am I going to do? I got this Avocet and it's starting to, talkback's not working. This is, I had to keep doing the factory reset. There's something wonky. And I looked at the other options to buy, new. And there was the Grace and the Dangerous. Neither one of them was really what I wanted. I just wanted my Avocet fixed. I just love the Avocet, and I don't have an Atmos room. I don't have 9.1. I don't need surround. I just, this is what I need. I need 2 speakers, a sub. I want to hear the computer. I want to hear a reference. I want to hear the mains. I want to mute, and I want to talk back. That's basically what I want. So they had a couple. So my thought was I don't know what's going on with Crane's Song. Is this not happening? And I talked to Sweetwater, and I'm like, hey, I don't know. I'm getting uptight about what's going on with Crane's Song. They're, is it still happening? And they were like, I don't. They didn't say anything either way. So, but I ended up. They had 2 in stock, brand new Avocets, version 2A, with the new convert, the whoop-de-doo, brand new. And I just called him. I said, "Listen, man, what can you do on this, man? I mean, this is the last. I'm basically buying something for $3,500 that I already have." It's not like you're buying $3,500 and you gotta, now you have some awesome Les Paul Gold Top or something. It's like now you've got buttons that you already had. But they hooked me up, and I said, all right. So I said, well, so I bought the new one. I said, all right, I'm going to buy it, and then I'm going to see if I can find a factory authorized repair center or whatever that maybe can look at my old Crane Song, service it, get it all back to factory as best they can, and then basically just ship it back to me, and I just put it up in the attic here in the studio, and it just sits here in the event that something happens with my Avocet. Because you guys know, I mean, if the Avocet goes, there's no studio. It's not like a mic preamp or an amp or where you just move on and you grab another one. It's like this is your entire system. So So I get it. It's brand new. And I go through. And the other thing, too, with the Grace and the Dangerous, which are both obviously awesome units, any of it would have been great, but the connecting was all different, and the Grace is this, and there's a 1/4-inch TRS or whatever, and then a DB25 in the back. My entire studio is, all the cables are terminated to go right into an Avocet. It's all XLR. So I was like, the whole thing, oh, now I got to get a snake, and then I got to wrap it around, and now I got more cabling. So anyway, the Avocet shows up. I plug it in. Thank God Rob was here. It was a little, getting it all to figure out where everything. And we sat down and popped on some music, and it sounds gorgeous in here. I mean, the original Avocet sounded great. This thing was even nicer. And I don't know what I guess some new converters. I don't know. I mean, I'm not running digital, so I'm running analog. But either way, it was unbelievable. And I was in the middle. I just finished mixing a record. So that was the game plan. I was finishing this mix. And then on the last day of Rob being here, the Avocet came the night before. And I said, let's finish this mix. Let's finish this record and send it out before we start pulling this thing, just in case there's any drama or it sounds weird or whatever. So needless to say, it sounded beautiful. So then I contact Crane Song. Oh my God. Whew. And You know, I was a little snarky on my 15th email and phone call. I can be a little snarky. Most 99% of the time I'm not, and I'm cool, and I've always given Crane Song, I've always given them levity, or I don't know what you'd call it, but I've always cut them slack because I love Dave and I love their products. But as a company, they're a little challenging sometimes in my experience of 25 years with buying stuff from them. But the dude hit me back, and the email subject, I keep seeing it because now as we're responding, it's just like a response. So I keep seeing the subject is anyone there with like exclamation point, question mark, exclamation point, question, anyone there. That's what I wrote in the subject. Like, hey guys, I just spent another $3-4 grand with your company. Can somebody answer the phone? Can somebody actually get an answering machine that takes a message? I mean, come on, this is high tech over here. It's Crane Song. Anyway. Oh, if somebody from that company watches this, I hope you guys are just getting the joke of it. But the good news was somebody did hit me up. And he said, oh, because I asked if there was any certified repair centers. And they said, no, we don't have certified repair centers. You have to send it back here. I'm like, oh. I'm like, okay, can I send it back? They're like, yeah, oh, yeah, absolutely. I said, oh, and you guys can service this? It's like 20 years old. It's probably a version 1 or whatever. They're like, yeah, but yeah, I'll get my tech to reach out to you. I was like, oh, it was that now there was like this whole, now it was like on and cracking, right? So he's like, yeah, just send me an email with what's wrong and I'll get you out an RMA. I'm like, wow, okay. So they got out the RMA and I shipped it and they received it. And I guess today's now Friday morning. I think Wednesday it was going to the tech, and he said he'll get in touch with you this week and we'll get it going on. And I told him, I said, you know, they said they didn't have any more switches for the talk back there when I talked to them about 3 months ago. And they said that you can use like an aftermarket. And that which may mean that like you don't have the little red tile that's on the Avocet remote. You know, maybe it's, I don't know what it is, but maybe it doesn't fit. Which I don't care. I need a talk back. I'm a voice coach. I record singers constantly. Not having a talk back sucks. Well, I have a talk back, but you have to hit it like 75 times to get it to work. And then you have to hit it like 75 times to get it to stop being the talk back. Anyway. Oh no, man. Again with James Lugo with the video of no video, but things are good. And I just finished this girl's record. I've been on this thing for a year and a half. It started out as an EP, and then it evolved into like a full 12-song record. I shot an EPK and, you know, the whole deal. And I finished it today, and they loved it. It was she made a little comment about an artist, and they're like, can you just cut that out? Because we don't want to make anybody mad. Like, you got it. So, yeah. It's been a couple of weeks of finishing records. Oh, that feels so good. The cleansing. This house is clean. I watched that movie today, Poltergeist. Anyway, credit card debt free, 0. Actually, I have $5 available in credit, but there it is. And I didn't buy the Mesa. I even plan to go down. Addiction is a weird thing, man. It is a weird thing, and it's whack-a-mole, you know. It's like get clean and sober. Oh, let's eat. And you stop. Oh, you get the eating. Oh, let's buy stuff. And then you get the buying stuff. Oh, let's drink. You know, it's just like never ending. So, and being clean and sober and having, it's been a journey, man. It's just been a journey to, it's like there's very little to learn and there's everything to let go of. And that's been my experience. So it's like, what else can I let go of? That's it. I mean, how many more videos can I put up with me doing stereo cleans and delays? I mean, I have milked that topic. I'm like the bodhisattva of stereo delays with clean amps. Oh, peace out.